So I forgot to discuss how to get a raise, and this is a good skill to know in the future. So here we go, how to get a raise. Let's switch over here. And what I like to do when I just first go in for a job interview is during the interview, I ask them like, are raises possible? How much? How do I get those? And that's just a good way before you get into a job that you know there's maybe some growth for you. And so you can ask, if you already have a job and you're wondering, just ask your boss, right? What do I have to do in order to get a raise? And then he might tell you different things. You got to get a promotion and how you can do that. But a lot of times what happens is people are working hard at their jobs. They're doing a really good job and they're kind of just waiting for their boss to offer them a raise. But bosses are typically dealing with a lot of other things. Typically, they're not always thinking like, who's done a really good job and who deserves more money, right? They might be doing that, especially if they're a good boss, but that's not the top of their mind. Typically, they're working with, trying to figure out issues and deal with all that stuff. And so it's not on top of their mind, right? And it's top of your mind. So just ask them, what do you need me to do in order to get a raise? And then you can start working on that. So once you know what you have to do, and even if you don't know what you have to do, you want to document your accomplishments. So, this is going to be different based on the job that you're in. But for me, for instance, I've been documenting how quickly the class has grown, how much my wait list is growing, so that I can show, I think that I'm delivering decent content. So document those things. You can show them, right? So your boss tells you have to do A, B, and C. You do A, B, and C. You document those, and then you go in and say, hey, I've done what you wanted me to do. Here's the proof. Could I get that raise? And when you do go in to ask for that raise, you're probably going to be fairly nervous. But you want to think about some things before you go in. So how much money do you want, right? How much of a raise do you want? Because you're going to want to be able to tell them, a number, right? And you kind of need to stick to that number. Well, I mean, obviously there's going to be some negotiation, but you need to have these numbers in mind. So what's the minimum you would accept? How much do you want? What would be awesome, right? So have a range of numbers there. And then again, with this documenting accomplishments, think about why you should get a raise, right? What you did for it, why you deserve it. So have that ready to go. And then if you're really, like maybe you've been trying for a long time to get a raise and you think you deserve one, but your boss won't quite give you one, the next step, and to make sure that you're really ready to make action if you don't get a raise, is to start applying for other jobs. So what you want to do is, after you've maybe gone through this a few times and it's just not working out, start applying for jobs and see what you can get paid at another position. So let's say you're working for $15 an hour, and then you get you start applying for jobs that will pay 15 to 17 an hour, right? And then you can go in, and then you can, if you apply for a job and if you get accepted to that job, you don't have to accept it right away. You can think about it. So let's say you get that other job, they're going to pay you 17 an hour, but you don't really want to leave your other job. You can go in and tell your boss, hey, look, I been offered this other job for 17. If you can match it, I'll stay here, right? And then another way to approach it is you want it to be a win-win for your boss and for you, because then that's going to be a much better deal. So you can say, hey, look, if I could get $1 raise, I would be absolutely thrilled to come into work. I will pick up an extra shift or whatever it is, but I would really like that raise, right? So then you kind of both win. So think about how it can be a win-win situation, how much you love working for the company if they did give you a raise, right? All these things you want to be asking for, bringing up, talking about. So that's kind of how you do it. You'll get better at it as you go. One of the things, though, to just remember is you're going to have to ask for it, and it's very uncomfortable a lot of times to be asking for it. But if you're not asking for a raise and you're just expecting it, the chance that you're going to get it is not always great. So train yourself, start practicing this, and then you should be good to go. All right, thanks for watching.